Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Haris Aiman bin Muhammad Jamil 1172246. So today our group will present about the Anglo-Irish Bank case study. First of all, I would like to explain what is banking terminology. Banking industry employs a wide variety of terms and terminology. Some of them is account balance. In the banking parlance, the account balance is the total amount of money in an account. The bank also measure the balance after considering all the debits and credits. Second, accrued interest. The accrued interest is the interest collected but not yet charged for investment. This is also called receivable interest. Several banks call it an earned but not yet charged interest. Third is annuities. Annuity are contract from a banking viewpoint. This contract in exchange for a large amount of money. Guarantee revenue or return. This money is paid either as a lump sum or through annual payments. And finally is credit application, a form for a credit account applicants to complete, including appropriate information such as residence, employment, income, and current debt, to enable the seller to assess the creditworthiness of the applicants. A repayment fee is also paid to cover the cost of handling the loans.
Next is banking definition and explanation. So what is banking? Banking is an industry that manages currency, loans and other transactions. Banks have a convenient place to store extra cash and credit. They sell saving deposits, deposit certificates and account checks. Banks use this deposit in credit making. Other loans include house mortgage, industrial loans and auto loans. Banking is one of the global economy's main engines. It provides the capital needed to invest in the future for the families and businesses. Bank loans and loans mean that families need not save up before going to college or buy a home. Companies are using loans to quickly start recruiting to prepare for potential demand and growth.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Muhammad Afif Ambil Sairun, 1172752. Now I will explain about finance terminology. First, gross profit. Definition can be calculated as total sale less the cost directly related to the sales. Balance sheet. The balance sheet is essential information that gives a snapshot of the company nets at any given time. Income statement. It is called a profit and loss statement, and it addresses a business bottom line. Report how much the business has earning and spent over the given period. Capital reflect to the overall wealth of a business as demonstrated by a cash account, asset, and investment. Next, finance definition and explain. Finance is a broad term that describes finance, equity, debt, credit, capital market, asset, investment, relate to activities. Funding basically reflect money management and method of raising and fund required. Finance divide into the three categories. First, personal finance. Financial preparation require a study of individual current financial situation to divide plan under financial construction of future need. Two, corporate finance, basic business. The kind of financing that is used as a corporate viewpoint, managing a company's fund and its revenue source of user. Third, public finance, policy on tax, spending, budgeting, debt issue that influence how the government pay for the service it provide to the public. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azmi bin Hairuddin and my number matric is 1172238. So we go through to the important notes of the case study. First, critique. The bank was last involved on the stock market, which was shut down with subprime by July 2007. The excessive thrust of Anglo-Irish and the complacency of the Irish regulators are exemplified by the decision by the February 2008 to pay or require a higher dividend in 2007 than in 2006. In the same category, buyback operation in 2007 and 2008 result in a cash payment of the euro 28 million to shareholders. And this show the weakness of Anglo-Irish Bank in managing their finance and failed to sustain on their business. The disclosure of the tape recording show the toxic atmosphere of the unethical action at the bank's top level. To behaving unethically, Anglo-Irish senior executive triggered the bank's bankruptcies and serious consequences for Irish taxpayers who charged the bill for unethical activity through Anglo-Irish. At Anglo-Irish, senior manager refused to behave with honestly, intentionally misleading the government was a deliberate unethical act which would cost €1 billion for Irish taxpayers. In addition, the action of Anglo-Irish senior executive also stained the integrity of the Anglo-Irish banks, which continue to struggle to disband. Next, in our opinion, theoretically by inserting a government promissory note, a debt which Ireland Central Bank must recognize for its extended liquidity assistance, which is ELA. Second, the Ireland court must set a legislation necessary to restructure the junior debt without letting the issuer Anglo-Irish go insolvent. The government play a game theoretic tactic by the demanding from accepting investor and exit consent, a vote permitting it to reduce the capital for all subordinate bonds to 1 cent per thousand of a nominal value. The ECB already funded 28% of Anglo-Irish liabilities. Government intervention started with the guarantee in late September 2008 that covered the liabilities existing by that time or at any time thereafter up to including 29 September 2010.
Okay, my name is Muhammad Salman Faris bin Rizan. My matric number is 1172258. Okay, for the policy lessons in macro level, the first one, Anglo classified itself as being a relationship-based business bank with a centralized business model operating in 3 core areas, which is business banking, treasury, and wealth management. Next is, leverage was an intricate part of Anglo business, and often they would finance not only the investment syndicate, but the individual members of the syndicate themselves. For the third one, Anglo loan book was extremely concentrated on a few large lending relationships, and its exposure to its top 20 customers as of May 2008 accounted to half of its total loan book of 41.7 billion. As a result of the desire to maintain its core relationship and considering the strong competition, Anglo felt pressurized to approve loans for fear of losing customers. And next is, Anglo saw significant growth in both its profitability and market capitalization in the lead up to the crisis. And next is, During the period 2001 to 2007, loans from Anglo to Fitzpatrick were transferred to INBS so that the full extent of his borrowings would not be disclosed in the Anglo AFS. After year end, on the 3rd or 4th of November, these loans were then transferred back to Anglo. The back-to-back arrangement with ILP was another indiscretion which involved the manipulation of Anglo balance sheets. Anglo was perceived internationally as the most vulnerable of the Irish bank to a reduction in wholesale funding. In Anglo's September 2007 year's end account, it had been disclosed as a balance sheet item customer deposit of 53 billion, and in the run up to the September 2008 year, Anglo would have potentially had to report customer deposit of around 46 billion, reflecting a reduction of 13% on 2007. And last but not least, ILP was a bank assurer with a separate life assurance company, Irish Life, and as such was uniquely positioned to aid Anglo. That's all.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zuhaimi bin Muhammad Zulkifli. Number matric 117 to 749. Okay, I want to discuss about macroeconomy on Anglo-Irish Bank. First, stabilizing and healing the bank. This is focused on broader macro-financial aspect of Ireland banking crisis. Ireland financial cycle was in many ways typical, yet cross-border credit play a larger role here than elsewhere in Europe. For the stable macroeconomic and political environment, immigration expand to take advantage of the increasing job opportunity and foreign workers, mostly from the new EU member states, increase the country population. Okay, for the Irish bank system, the Ireland had several major national bank and credit institutions as well as several international bank. There is Anglo-Irish Bank. Okay. As Ireland became increasingly financially open and as the global financial service industry trended toward liberalization, innovation, competition, and consolidation, the downrange of Anglo-Irish Bank was particularly severe, resulting in an S&P rating of B by February 2011. And lastly, the success of Anglo-Irish Bank, the use on extrapolation bias, where decision makers must try to anticipate a future outcome. There might be good reason to believe that the underlying mechanism producing the outcome is changing over time. Second, the dynamic structure, which is appear to apply to certain macroeconomic time series, and asset price has the potential to combine with extrapolation bias to generate bubble and crashes. Okay. Well-known document how forecast prior to the crisis anticipate that Ireland will continue to outstrip growth in other developed countries, concluding the forecaster were over optimistic. This is possible, but extrapolation bias offer another explanation. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.